Here, one of the more spectacular later spring globular clusters, Messier 3. This is a 5-second exposure. We have 140 stacks as I went inside to finish watching, touched by an angel, which I can't help but drip a few tears over every single episode. Anyway, it's now 9:40. I think we're about to enter into skydark. There's a little color in the sky because the moon has progressed. I think it's probably a 3-day crescent looking at it. What we're going to do is the NGC 5300 to 5349 tonight. I may get a few northy studies, possibly, but I don't really want to be up that late. And I think we're finally catching the wave when it comes to staying up with the NGC catalog with sidereal time advanced to the west, as well as lengthening days and shortening nights, pushing skydark back later and later, causing these studies to move much more quickly to the west than usual. Although if I didn't have the observatory, I probably would be able to get them all in easily, but they must generally be approached as they culminate. So that's our introduction for tonight. We're going to go on to the NGC 5300 to 5349 series. I did take some time to redo the mount mechanics, rebalancing it, but it really just does not give good results both to the east and to the west. So that's the way it plays. So here we're having a very nice view of Messier 3. I'm going to go ahead and play just a little bit with the histogram and give you that look that approximates to the digitized sky survey image. All right, moving on, 2 minutes in. We have 36 studies, probably plus, to do tonight. Between minus 30 and plus 45 degrees, some 65 to 70% of the NGC catalog is found there in year-round. Our first study in the NGC 5300 series is that very vaguish galaxy towards the middle of the field. Let's make sure I have the 105x view up. Galaxy in Virgo, magnitude 11.4. It has an angularity. It's 3.8 by 2.4 arc minutes in size, spiral with a bar and a lowercase c. You can just make out its core. And 50 million light years distant puts it about 60,000 light years in diameter. We're at right ascension 134815 with a declination of plus 3 degrees, 57 minutes and 2 seconds. And I do believe we can nail that one. I'm going to back out and I'm going to resynchronize as I did to Messier 3 earlier. Okay, what we're seeing here should be NGC 5302. And I do believe it's one of these galaxies here. It's deep south. It's in Centaurus. It's a little outside our range, but I like checking to see the sky conditions down further south. NGC 5302's Galaxy Centaurus, magnitude 12.1, 1.7 by 1. It's a spiral with a bar lenticular A, so I do believe we have centered it up. 159 million light years distant. Puts it at about 85,000 light years in diameter, right ascension 134849 with a declination of minus 30 degrees, 30 minutes and 42 seconds. NGC 5303A is probably this brighter galaxy down here. I guess I've got to spend more time doing my alignments. It's in Canis Venatici, magnitude 12.9, 0.9 by 0.4 arc minute. Well, it can't be it. Maybe it's this fainter one because it's a spiral with a lowercase c. So let's do a little bit of a search here. These two bright stars are going to be significators. The aspect ratio 0.9 to 0.4 hints at this one, so does its core. 62 million light years distant, but I do not like its brightness, says I am. This is probably more like our galaxy in terms of brightness. 62 million light years distant means it's kind of a smallie, maybe 30,000 light years in diameter. Right ascension 134745, declination plus 38 degrees, 18 minutes and 16 seconds. Backing out, we expect things to be lower down. It's possible it's this galaxy here, and they've misquoted the magnitude. But adventuresindeepspace.com. Okay, where there's an A, there is a B. So I suspect this is our B here. Galaxy in Canis Venatici, magnitude 15.5, but 0.7 by 0.3. That's working out pretty good. Spiral with a lowercase bc. Since it's a BC, it's probably somewhere more like magnitude 14.9. 62 million light years distant. Means it's probably no more than 15 to 20,000 light years in diameter. RA 134745, declination plus 38, 15, 32. I think I'm going to stay with northies now. I'll push on a little bit more before we go to northies exclusively for the early part of the evening to avoid either roof tri blockage or reflected light in the field of view. As it turned out, NGC 5305 was a galaxy nearby. I suspect it's this one, although there's a fainter one here. Galaxy in Canis Venatici, magnitude 13.6, 1.5 by 1.1 arc minute, spiral with a bar in lowercase b. Okay. 260 million light years distant means it's about 115,000 light years in diameter. RA 134755 with a declination of plus 37 degrees, 49 minutes, 33 seconds. Several galaxies in the field, adventuresindeepspace.com. NGC 5306 should be right in the middle of the field since it's down in Virgo, which I did my synchronization to. It's magnitude 12.1, 1.4 by 1.1 arc minute. It's a smallie for a 12.1. But it's a lenticular spiral, 324 million light years distant, means it's probably about 130,000 light years in diameter. RA 134911, declination -7, 1326 in declination. NGC 5309, behind the diffraction bar, is further south in Virgo, maybe a little bit up above the center of the screen. There's several fainties there. It's a galaxy Virgo, magnitude 15.5, 8.8 by 0.7 arc minute lenticular spiral. So if it's going to be a galaxy, it's probable it's this one. RA 135011, minus 15 degrees, 37 minutes and 6 seconds. I'm thinking northies are next in order, so I'm going to stay with them. We got two galaxies here in the field. This one's quite splendid, isn't it? Let's make sure we're at 105x, and we are. We're looking for a galaxy in Canis Venatici, magnitude 12.3, 2.6 by 2.3 arc minutes. Spiral with a lowercase a. Now this one down here is probably a lenticular or elliptical, so this is probably our study here. Notice how it ended up in the middle of the field, despite the fact it's at plus 39 degrees, 59 minutes, 8 seconds, has a right ascension of 1348.55, spiral with a lowercase a, 125 million light years distance, probably about 110,000 light years in diameter. I'm enjoying the look of that galaxy. I'll center it up, and there we have it. NGC 5312, we're going to stay north now because I'm seeing the subtle colors of reflected light. Got a pair of galaxies here, plus a very faint one. In Canis Venatici, it's magnitude 14.8, 0.8 by 0.4 arc minute, spiral with a lowercase a. Could be this one. It could be any of these galaxies. Adventuresindeepspace.com for more guidance. Right ascension 1349.50 with a declination of plus 33 degrees, 37 minutes, 19 seconds. I am now going to proceed to capture everything between 40 and 45 degrees northern declination to avoid loss of image quality as the evening progresses. On our way north, let's stop at NGC 5313, a galaxy in Canis Venatici, magnitude 12. All right, so magnitude 12, spiral with a lowercase b. 116 million light years distant, 1.7 by 1. This is our previous galaxy. I suspect it's going to be something along here. Once again, it's really not in a very good position, but that's a beautiful set of galaxies. 116 million light years distant, RA 1349.44, Declination plus 39 degrees, 59 minutes and 5 seconds. We'll continue going north. Heading north, NGC 5320 is probably this galaxy located right there. Let's see if it maps. Galaxy Canis Venatici, magnitude 12.1, 3.6 by 1.7 arc minutes. Okay, 2-to-1 aspect ratio, spiral with a bar and a lowercase c. Yeah, that works. 114 million light years distant, maybe 125,000 light years in diameter. RA 135020 with a declination of plus 41 degrees, 21 minutes and 58 seconds. NGC 5336 is a galaxy, and I do believe it's down there, in Canis Venatici, magnitude 12.8, 1.4 by 1.3 arc minutes, spiral with a lowercase c, not much of a core there, 110 million light years distant, maybe 50,000 light years in diameter, RA 135209 with a declination of plus 43 degrees, 14 minutes, 33 seconds. NGC 5324 is a galaxy in Virgo. Looks like it has knots or neighbors. Magnitude 11.7, 2.3 by 2.1 arc minutes, spiral with a lowercase c, 146 million light years, probably puts it 100K in diameter. RA 135205 with a declination of minus 6 degrees, 3 minutes and 29 seconds. Very nice look. Let's take it up to 150 because it looks like it has a frontier, and back down to 105x, and there we go. Okay, we may have seen this one earlier. NGC 5325A, Galaxy Canis Venatici. Let's see if it's just edge on. No, it is not. This is one we did look for earlier, but we had a hard time figuring it out. We have this edge on, and then we have this face on galaxy here. Galaxy Canis Venatici is pretty far north, magnitude 15.1.9 by 0.8, spiral with a lowercase c. I'm thinking this one, possibly that one or that one, adventuresindeepspace.com. 150 million light years distant, puts it about 50,000 light years in diameter. RA is 1350-54 with a declination of plus 38, 1627. Okay, where there's an A, there's a B. There's hardly a click here. We have a galaxy in Canis Venatici, magnitude 16, 0.6 by 0.3 arc minutes. It's probably this galaxy right there, but I don't want to mess this view up too much. 0.6 by 0.3, spiral peculiarity, so it is being disturbed. Right ascension 1350-52 with a declination of plus 38, 14, and 27. There's also an even fainter galaxy here. Nice edge on there, fainter galaxy. This is a very sharp edge on. Wow, nice galaxy group of disparate morphological evolutionary galaxies. Okay, NGC 5326 is a galaxy in Canis Venatici, magnitude 11.9, 2.2 by 1.2 arc minutes, spiral with a lowercase ab. This one's a little too intense. Perhaps this one here. 119 million light years distant, puts it at some 65,000 light years in diameter. RA 1350-50 with a declination of plus 39 degrees, 34 minutes, 27 seconds. NGC 5337, after skipping a number of deep south galaxies, is a galaxy in Canis Venatici, magnitude 12.5, 1.7 by 0.8 arc minutes. This is okay. Spiral with peculiarities. All right, 101 million light years distant, so maybe 60,000 light years in diameter. RA 1352-23 with a declination of plus 39 degrees, 41 minutes, and 14 seconds. I'll center all these up with his bright star as a reference, and hopefully Steve Gottlieb could help us suss out which galaxy is which. But given its 12.5 magnitude, probably, and it's 1.7 by 0.8, I'm not really seeing a good candidate here. I'm going to double check something. Well, referencing this bright star and Steve Gottlieb, there's something over here, but there's too many galaxies here, and the go-to model is not particularly good. nor has it ever really been good on this mount. Bought it used, could have been sold for a reason. Anyway, it's a great challenge to be able to figure out which galaxy is which. Otherwise, if it were to go directly towards whatever you're pointing at, you probably wouldn't be able to develop the skills you need to identify different morphological shapes and evolutions of galaxies in the field of view. Okay, we're looking for NGC 5341, and once again, we have several candidates in the field. After all, we are in galaxy season. 5341, galaxy Canis Venatici, magnitude 13.2, 1.3 by 0.5 arc minutes. Possibly this one here. Let's frame all these up, however. Spiral with a bar and a lowercase d. It's got no core to it. Aha! The only one I'm seeing here without a core is this very faint one here, but it's supposed to be magnitude 13.2. I do believe we imaged this galaxy earlier. I'm at a loss. I'm not seeing anything here that really maps particularly well against 5341. Spiral with a bar, lowercase d, 167 million light years, maybe 65K in diameter. Right ascension 13, 52, 31, declination plus 37, 48, 59. Okay, another further north galaxy, because we're doing them right now. We're looking for NGC. Okay, 5346, galaxy Canis Venatici. It's magnitude 13.8, 2 by 0.8 arc minutes. Okay, that looks like a good solid candidate. Spiral with a lowercase c, however. Well, it does have a bit of a core, although a little more pronounced than I would expect. 116 million light years distant, RA 135301, with a declination of plus 39 degrees, 34 minutes, and 50 seconds. NGC 5347, there seems to be a brightie right there, but who knows? Magnitude 12.6, galaxy in Canis Venatici, 1.6 by 1.3 arc minutes. Yeah, that's kind of oblate. Spiral with a bar, lowercase bc. The core looks a little bright, but it could be a bc, which is like our own Milky Way, by the way. 104 million light years distant, puts it at about 60,000 light years in diameter. RA 135317 with a declination of plus 33 degrees, 29 minutes, 26 seconds. The galaxy has a nice frontier. I thought we'd have a look at 150x, 100% e-zoom, capturing all those pixels, but uglifying the stars in the field of view. Okay, ordinarily NGC 5349 would be our last study for the evening, but I've been skipping over things in order to get the far northers taken care of. We started at skydark, which delayed beginning, and so I'm only going to do a half a century, as I mentioned earlier, but the result is the first set of studies is going to be impacted more by reflected light and potential roof blockage. NGC 5349, galaxy Canis Venatici, magnitude 14.1, looks rather large, 1.7 by 0.4 arc minutes. So, which is it? All right. Spiral with a bar, lowercase b. Well, it could be this one, although it looks a little small. Could be this one right here. Possibly that one, adventuresindeepspace.com. Right ascension is 1353.13 with a declination of plus 37 degrees, 52 minutes, 57 seconds. The galaxy is 260 million light years distant, puts it about 135,000 light years in diameter. Nice field of view we're seeing here. Let's go ahead and push it all the way up, capture all those photons, arrange them in a way that can be seen, backing back out to our optimal field of view at 105x, 20 by 15 arc minutes. And then let's go back and resume the more southern studies. We are now 20 minutes into this astrovid. NGC 5327, like most things near the middle of the field of celestial equator, should lie right near the middle of the field of view. 5327's galaxy in Virgo, magnitude 12.6, 1.9 by 1.6 arc minutes. Spiral with a bar, lowercase b, 198 million light years distant, maybe 130,000 light years in diameter. RA 135204 with a declination of -2, 12, and 22 seconds. NGC 5328, nice dark sky given its celestial declination, is a galaxy in Hydra, magnitude 11.6, 1.8 by 0.2, arc 1.2 arc minutes, elliptical class 2. Now, I might have expected to be further north, but it wasn't. I mean, further to the east, which is above. All right, so let's assume this is our galaxy. Elliptical class 2 makes sense. 209 million light years distant, puts it at about 125,000 light years in diameter. RA 1352.53, declination -28 degrees, 29 minutes, and 22 seconds. Explains why those stars are looking so bulbous. NGC 5329 is likely to be that galaxy in the midfields. Virgo, magnitude 12.4, 1.3 by 1.3 elliptical, probably a class 0. 321 million light years distant, maybe 130,000 light years in diameter. Right ascension 1352.10, declination +2 degrees, 19 minutes and 29 seconds. NGC 5331, the middle of the field, is a galaxy in Virgo, magnitude 14.3. It's got a neighbor. Let's see if we can figure out which one it is. 1.2 by 0.7 arc minute. Okay, this one looks more distended. Spiral with a bar, lowercase b. Spiral BC, okay, the one to the south, 133 million light years distant. RA 1352.16 with a declination of +2 degrees, 6 minutes, and 3 seconds. Interesting pair. NGC 5332 is a galaxy in Boötes. Magnitude 12.9, so pretty obvious. 0.9 by 0.9 arc minute lenticular spiral. I think we've nailed this one. 305 million light years, right ascension 1352.07, with a declination of +16 degrees, 58 minutes, and 10 seconds. Probably somewhere around 90,000 light years in diameter, like our own Milky Way, but much more progressed in star formation as a lenticular spiral. NGC 5334, gotta be a fairly faint galaxy in Virgo. No, it's magnitude 11.3, but it's huge, 4.1 by 3.3 arc minutes in size. Very nebulous. Spiral with a bar, lowercase c. Well, it's just basically got a very tiny core, not very luminous. 61 million light years distant, puts it at about 80,000 light years in diameter. RA 1352.54 with a declination of -1 degree, 6 minutes and 50 seconds. Gathering more photonage. There is our 150x view. NGC 5335 is that faintest galaxy right in the middle of the field. More stacks, brighter. Galaxy Virgo, magnitude 12.8, 2.1 by 1.4 arc minute, spiral with a bar, lowercase b. It looks like it might have a neighbor to the east. 214 million light years distant, RA 1352.56, declination +2 degrees, 48 minutes and 51 seconds. A largish galaxy, maybe 130,000 light years in diameter. NGC 5338 towards the center of the field because we are down near the celestial equators. A galaxy in Virgo, magnitude 12.4, 2.5 by 1.4 arc minute. Spiral with a bar, lenticular class, 35 million light years distant, not very large. Maybe 30,000 light years in diameter. Right ascension 1353.26 with a declination of +5 degrees, 12 minutes and 27 seconds. NGC 5339 is a galaxy that was visible at 30x. In Virgo, magnitude 12, 1.9 by 1.7 arc minute, spiral with a bar, lowercase a. 121 million light years distant, puts it at about 70,000 light years in diameter. RA 1354 with odd seconds. Declination -7 degrees, 55 minutes and 51 seconds. NGC 5343 is a galaxy in Virgo, magnitude 14. Okay. Lenticular spiral. Oh, okay. That's got to be a visual 14. 100, or perhaps a photographic 14. It looks very bright. 118 million light years distant, puts it at about 55,000 light years in diameter. RA 135411, declination -7, 35, and 18. NGC 5345 is a galaxy in Virgo, magnitude 12.4. 1.6 by 1.6 arc-minute spiral with a lowercase a, 332 million light years distant, means it's probably about 175,000 light years in diameter. RA 135414 with a declination of -1 degree, 26 minutes and 12 seconds. NGC 5348 should be a galaxy midfield, and it is. It's got an echo off in the distance here to the north. Magnitude 13.1, 3.5 by 0.5 arc-minute spiral with a bar, lowercase bc. 57 million light years distant, puts it at about maybe 65,000 light years in diameter. Right ascension 135411 with a declination of +5 degrees, 13 minutes, 36 seconds. So we're going to revisit 5349 just because we want to close out this evening in the series with it. Okay, this is why I had to preload the Northern Studies earlier in the series, because of this bright reddish light. Okay, now the galaxy we're looking for, we saw earlier. It's a galaxy in Canis Venatici, magnitude 14.1, 1.7 by 0.5 arc minutes. I do believe it's this one here if it maps. Spiral with a bar and a lowercase b. There's not much of a core here, so it's possible that it's elsewhere in the field, although I doubt it. At right ascension 1353.13 and declination of +37 degrees, 52 minutes, 57 seconds. We're going to go for a very faint galaxy as our exit view this evening because I noticed it when researching in advance on Steve Gottlieb's Adventures in Deepspace.com. Let's head for it next before I say the words out. Okay, we're looking for NGC 5319. We saw it earlier in our series, but I want to go out on it. The reason I want to go out on it is because it's supposed to be a fairly faint galaxy. Steve lists it as magnitude 15.5, although the Gemini 2 handset says NGC 5319, a galaxy in Canis Venatici, is magnitude 15. However, both data sets show the same values of 0.6 by 0.2 arc minutes. It's a spiral, 558 million light years distant. Now, this one looks a little too bright. However, a 558 million light year galaxy is going to have a fairly bright core, even though it's just listed as a spiral. So I suspect it's going to be this one here. Now, Steve says he's only was able to see it in a 24-inch scope. He couldn't pick it up in something smaller. It's at right ascension 1350-40 with a declination of +33 degrees, 45 minutes, 43 seconds. We are now 29.5 minutes into this astrovid. I may have done some duplicates and studies since I wasn't writing down which ones were last in the series. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and we're going to have a one last view of something very brightest, just in case I get to delete some of the duplicated studies from earlier in the evening. Seeing here is a 60-second exposure of the Ring Nebula with manual adjustments of the histogram. If I back it off, we should be making out a faint galaxy, an IC galaxy in the same field. There may be an MCG galaxy as well. Just making some adjustments. Now, what blows me away is we're getting pretty good round star images for 60 seconds exposure time. The galaxy is really beginning to pop right there. So we could zoom in a little bit more on it, center it up. I think it's like a 14.6 magnitude visual galaxy, but it's relatively large, face-on, spiral, with extended arms. We're obviously overexposed on the ring nebula, Messier 57, but it's a nice view to have had, anticipating the upcoming late spring, early summer season. With that, I'm going to say Carpe Noctem.